Okay, well here it is. The snowstorm in Dallas. Today's actually Wednesday, so it's the second snowstorm we've had. And I'm going to find out, is the Volvo S90 any good in these conditions? That's a T6 all-wheel drive. And basically you'll see here that, well, since Saturday, this has not been plowed because we don't really do snow plowing here in Texas, although we have a lot of trucks, we just don't plow. So I've driven this for the last 4 days. You can see I've driven it in the snow. We have icicles on the wheels. We've got snowpack in the wheel wells. And snowpack, yep, still back in there. So I'm actually going to go get food. I haven't had any power disruptions, thankfully, but everyone else has. I was able to remote start the car, by the way, with the Volvo On-Call app. And when I do that, I've got it set up to turn the heaters on for the seats and the steering wheel. Okay, so remote start activated by phone. That's what it says there. So I'll go ahead and put my foot on the brake. Now it's starting the car. Okay, got to get my seatbelt on. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so I still have the wiper blades in service mode. You set the service mode by going to these buttons here, wiper service position. I'll turn it off and then go back down. I could also hit the stock to do it, and it'll turn it out. Or if you drive like over 10 miles an hour or something, they'll oops, reset. Let's turn that off. Alright, somehow I have Spotify going and it decided to turn on. Let's turn that down. Hopefully I don't get copyright flagged. So what we're going to do is we're going to head out and we're going to go to find a place to get some food. And we'll just see how this thing is on the snow. So the first thing I'll do is put it in drive. And if I push down drive mode, you'll see it's already in comfort by default. This car doesn't have like an off-road or any other kind of mode. It's full-time all-wheel drive, so we will move forward. Yep. So we have snow on top of ice, on top of snow, on top of ice, because basically a couple days ago the snow melted in the sunlight, and then when the melt froze again overnight, we got more snow. So yeah, it's been fun. We have some speed bumps here. So essentially it's like an interesting car because I've been able to get around for the last 4 days, and just want to show you what the S90 feels like. I used to own an Audi A6 when it was snowing, and I've had a Volkswagen Passat in the snow. I'd say the Passat, the S90, and the A6 are all pretty much in the same kind of size. So just the way this thing drives, it's very, very smooth. And I basically treat these pedals as if there's an egg between my foot and the pedal. But if I was to be a little bit more aggressive with it, it does actually grip. Okay, so left turn, it's a little squirrely, but it's definitely finding the grip. I think what I'll do is tell you that every day here the driving conditions have been different, and no plowing, no salting, no. Well, I guess in some intersections they've laid down some like sand and stuff, but without any power in some of these areas, which is kind of hit and miss. You don't know where the power is or where it isn't. You have no idea what to expect as you go. So it's like, I don't know if this is going to be a good street to be on or a bad street to be on, but okay, no one's coming, so we'll make our right. Yeah, this road's definitely in bad shape today. So this road is actually going to be heading towards Preston Road. So Preston is where you connect Frisco to downtown Dallas. It's a long drive on that road if you're to do that road, but that is a very popular road people are very familiar with. So I'm going to head over to Preston Road, and the road I'm on right now actually has some hills on it. So we're going to see how this thing, how this Volvo reacts after several days of snow and ice, being able to go uphill and control corners and downhill. It's an interesting path to take, so I just want you to know about it. I'm not in a rush, obviously, and traffic is actually light. It was much heavier the other day, so there's not that many people out right now. You can see the 300S is struggling with rear-wheel drive. Even that Jeep is struggling. Some of the cars are beginning to struggle in the pickup trucks. That RAV4, I think it is, or a CRV. The Scion. Yeah, you could start seeing some struggle around here. So what I've noticed is the trucks had a hard time around here. And people are running red lights, people are running dead lights. So I'm extra cautious. And I mean, these people are all idiots. That's just the way I'm going to treat it. But you can see people aren't always able to stop. So this truck can't go forward. I got it just fine. Okay. So the way the Volvo feels in the snow, it's a lot different than an Audi Quattro. Audi Quattro, there's God, that guy was flying. Audi Quattro feels more like a sport setup, which is kind of weird. This Volvo, I mean, I get in here and I'm like, oh yeah, the Swedish design, the Scandinavian stuff in here. I feel very relaxed and very comfortable, and I'm actually in no mood to go quickly. I'm actually just enjoying the ride. But you'll notice something too. That's parked in their driveway there. I have not seen in the last 4 days any vehicles stuck on the side of the road here. So even though we hit temperatures of like -3 with the wind chill, or -8 or whatever, no one has abandoned their cars. And that's crazy, because we've also had power outages for days in some areas, and I've seen gas stations out of power and they can't dispense fuel. So who knows what the real deal is here. But we have people like this who just drive along your quarter panel, which, you know, we're entering a corner here with a red light and downhill slope, and people just don't want to give space. Now they give space, but they're just inept, and they have no concept of what the possibilities are if things go wrong. So I'm trying to keep my distance, trying to relax, and it's very easy in this interior. But the difference between this and Quattro is that when the power comes down on this car, on slippery conditions, I feel like the car crabs to the right. And I don't remember the Quattro ever doing that in the snow. But there are differences between this and like xDrive. I saw BMW X5 with xDrive, and it couldn't get off the line, basically. All right, we're getting pretty slippery over here in this powder. It's kind of fun, kind of slippery. Downhill, red light, of course. Jeep Gladiator trying its thing. In essence, because they haven't been plowing the roads, I've been driving on the powder, I think I have got better grip on the powder than I would on the worn out spaces that just have black ice patches like that. Not interested in hitting that. And the roads have been relatively smooth. Oddly very quiet. Like, you don't hear the asphalt because the tires are hitting the snowpack or the powder. It's cool. My windshield washer fluid has frozen up. And, oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm on Pirelli P-Zeros. These are the factory tires that come with the R-Design package on the S90. And I'm on 20s. So that was pretty much the hilly part. Here we are on a bridge where there's definitely ice. Heated steering wheel feels good. Heated seats are on. I wish I could enjoy the Bowers & Wilkins stereo, but I don't want to get flagged for playing music on YouTube, so I can't really show that to you, but it's great. Alright, another uphill here. Obviously we're moving, so moving from a standstill up a hill is a lot different than going uphill. So we're gonna make a left at this signal, which is Preston Road. The way people are driving today, it's almost as if they want to take up the entire road. They don't even want to be courteous to anybody at all. I think people are kind of over all this right now. So here we are. Everything's blocked. Look at this craziness. Spinning wheels. Look at this. They just went, so they should just go. So then they should go. It's also interesting to see the cars that are actually on the roads and how they're working in this condition. Like, no snow plow, snow on ice on snow on ice. It's just kind of crazy. Like, I've seen worse. I've experienced and seen, cars getting stuck and things sliding on ice all over. You can see it on the internet, but I experienced it firsthand in Virginia during Snowmageddon or Snowpocalypse, whatever they had back in 2013. So this is a totally different experience, and I don't understand how. There's a gas station, they're closed. So here we go, lights are out. That gas station's closed. 7-Eleven closed all their stores in Texas, apparently. Starbucks looks closed because there's no power. People just running the lights. So even if I'm a little bit aggressive on the throttle, I'm able to move just fine. So I think this car has been very accommodating for me in all-wheel drive mode. Don't know why you're stopping for no reason. No signal, nothing. Just ran the light and then made a left without a signal. Just Oklahoma plates. Go figure. Wow, that's ballsy. That was a Challenger. I hear sirens. I don't see sirens. I mean lights, but okay, whatever. Another light that's out. This is Preston and 635. I see a lot of rear-wheel drive vehicles. My only concern with the crabbing right is that if I have a car on the right side of me and I'm aggressive on the throttle, I might go into the right. The vehicle on the right. Oh, see, they're sliding pretty good there. This thing's accelerating just without a problem. That's why I got Quattro back in the day. When I was in that Snowmageddon thing, I had a Volkswagen Jetta, which was front-wheel drive and manual and diesel. And let's just say it was quite difficult to get going in the snow. But these are the same sort of conditions I've experienced. Snow on ice, on snow on ice, and snow again. And this hasn't even been plowed, which is just like, look at this, lights out, and they're not going to stop. Nope. Focus ST. I think some of these people are definitely out for a joyride, but you know, there's having a joyride on your own when it's safe, and then there's having a joyride when you're just a complete idiot. If this is a very boring video for you, I apologize, but if you are interested in Volvos on the snow when the conditions are like this, this is what you get. Let's see how the X3 does. Oh, it's an X5 diesel, old one. This is also giving you a chance of what it's like here in Dallas during this snow craziness. So what I discovered is if I keep my foot in it, the traction control and the ABS, everything's working. And if I just coast, that guy just ran the red light. That guy did too. So you can hear the ABS kicking in. It's pretty slippery right here. If you just keep your foot in it, it's working it all out. And once you lift up, if you hesitate, then you lose all traction again. But the Volvo can accelerate out of this stuff quite well. We're coming up to another red light. This is 3 lanes wide and then 2 left turn lanes. These are big roads. All right, so clear. Again, the way this interior is, I'm so comfortable. Whole Foods is even closed. That's foot hard down. Keeping my foot in it. Boom, it works it out. Accelerate out of it. Foot hard down. Yeah. So even just trying around this thing can definitely move, which is a lot to be said compared to some of these other vehicles And again, this is crazy to have unplowed roads for days with all this. You can't even see the curbs or anything. Like, if you're not from here, you're going to be totally confused as to what you're supposed to be doing here. This is crazy. What I'll do is get to an area where I can actually set the camera up on the ground and then show you what the traction control system's doing. I'm gonna try and find a parking lot for that. This road's interesting because yesterday it was completely cleared off, like from all the traveling. All of the snow cleared out a path in the middle lane. And then overnight, things just froze over again. The other day, the sun came out and melted some of it, and then immediately everything froze again. And yeah, it's just been nonstop mayhem here on these roads with these conditions, but no plows. And some lights have power, some don't. So I think the big challenge lately has been finding, if you don't have power, finding a place to stay. And if you don't have power, finding something to eat. Obviously you can't cook if you don't have electricity. If you're a gas power house, you don't have that same problem. But my house is all electric, so I'd have to go out and venture around. All right, so slight brake pressure here. It seems like there's more adverse conditions as we go down this road. But as I'm braking, I can't hear the ABS pump kick in, so it's not that bad. This is St. Mark's. The intersection we were just at back there was obliterated by the tornado that came through in Dallas in 2019. It's been crazy. And then out of nowhere, like in this road, they decided to split the middle lane. So you have to go left or right. You can't use the middle lane. And I think there's some road damage up there. But they did that like just before the snowstorm hit. So it's the weirdest thing ever. You have to find which lane you're going to take. It's like an obstacle course. It's pretty cool. If you're into that. And there's this big-ass Ram pickup that's been coming up on me, so I want to see what that thing does when it gets to the red light. Because what is that thing, like 6,000, 7,000 pounds? I'm just coasting. Look out, birds. Brake, 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 brake. All right, when the light turns green, let's see what happens here. I bet you no traction for this truck. green, light's green. Oh, there's an actual decent driver here. That's good. So it's just amazing that there are no abandoned cars on the side of the road, and there's no traffic incidents like fender benders, and you don't see broken walls and telephone poles. Like, things have just been pretty decent. So I don't know what you've been hearing about the snowstorm in Dallas, but we've been managing just fine. It hasn't turned into any kind of third world at all. Let's avoid that thing. Chunks of ice in the middle of the road now. Definitely adds a cool look to the town, though. I don't know where these people think they're going. Now we're coming up on Northwest Highway, which is a major route, and it's been pretty clear. Not sure if they're just dropping salt. I doubt they're plowing it, because I haven't even seen a plow in Dallas ever. But that road is highly traveled, so maybe it's clear. We'll find out. I have to make a right. And the light's out, of course. I don't even get through the intersection and that guy's already in it. It's crazy. I mean, what if I had spun out? I mean, that guy's going to be able to stop. If I lost traction, he can't. I don't get it. These people are whatever. I mean, the way these people come up on me. What if I was unable to accelerate? Road. So yes, the Volvo is really good in the snow, and I would say I'm actually kind of shocked. because it's a front-wheel drive bias. It's the Haldex system, so it sends power to the rear when it needs more traction. Oh, that's a BMW over there, or what? Ah, our first casualty. A BMW. Rear-wheel drive. Okay, so this is a good challenge here. He's screwed. All right, people coming, people going. This is going to be nuts. I want to get out and help, but I don't. You have to wait for more traffic to clear. Going up the hill just fine in the Volvo. I don't know how I can help that guy. I mean, I can't push a car like that up a hill. Tell you what, we'll shoot the way this thing is in the snow with traction-wise in the parking lot, and then we'll come back down here, and if he's still stuck, give him a push. But the biggest challenge will be when he gets to this stop sign over here, because it's another uphill. But I know that feeling, actually. When I had my Volkswagen in Virginia and got stuck in the snow and you'd see cars go by, you'd go, damn it! Uphill. Just fine. Two more stop signs to test out. Yeah, as long as my foot's in it, it works it out. I don't even feel it doing anything. It's just accelerating. It feels like normal. I'm not really stressing it out. I actually don't even see the charge control light kicking in when I do it. There's a signal down there, and power was out most of the time, and then last night it was working, it was flashing red, and now it's out again. It's kind of crazy. Someone just ran the freaking light. or the dead light. Another one. They're just going through them. Alright, so we're going to pull into this driveway. Because it's relatively just a straight line. Okay, so let me put my foot down and see what the traction control light does. Wow, it accelerates in a straight line. It's pretty cool. Let me put the camera out here. See how it accelerates. If it sends the power to the front, to the rear, who knows? This is just soft powder. Actually, let's go this way. Alright, I will accelerate. I'll come back and brake hard. We'll see what happens. Okay, well that's it. It's kind of like a really good traction control system, spoiling all the fun. You can see where all the snow builds up. Yep, inside the wheels and down in here. It's all good. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Some good pile up down here. It's all good. It's been fun. Alright, have a safe day, stay warm, and see ya.